What's up, family? How you doing? It's your girl, Dr. Shonna. I'm over here looking around because I sat down without my notebook, which is not a good thing. So without that notebook, I don't have my notes. So I'm going to need you guys to bear with me just one moment as I get my notebook so we can have this real serious conversation. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to need you all to do what I always ask you to do, and that is to share the video. Whether you are on Facebook or you are on YouTube, we could be so kind and share the video. If you are on YouTube, you could be so kind and just subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Let's keep the love going, because the more you guys interact, the more the video gets shown and seen, because y'all already know how they do my channel. Even though I don't think I talk about anything that's ridiculous and crazy, but it doesn't matter. You know how they do my channel. They make sure they shadow ban me. And how you ever know you're being shadow banned is just watch how your numbers just quickly go down, right? So I need y'all to go ahead and get the information out there, because I'm going to give y'all some real juicy information. We're going to be talking about some of the encounters with police that I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. And here's the thing about this video. Here's the thing. We're going to look at it from multiple perspectives. And I'm just asking you guys, you all can have your opinion. You all can feel how you feel. You are entitled to that, and I'm entitled to my feelings, right? But here's what I want to do. I want to challenge my community to look at things from multiple angles, because I think sometimes we have a challenging time looking at things from multiple perspectives, and we get ourselves upset. And then when we really need to see what we need to see, we don't see it because we're so used to looking at things one particular way. So while everyone is coming on, somebody says shout out from Dallas, Texas. Kevin, I'm so glad you are in the the room, because we're going to be talking about an incident in Dallas, Texas. So I am so glad you are in the room, because Dallas, Texas made my headlines today. I also want you all to know that there's another story I'm gathering more information on, that I might bring on a guest to talk to you guys about this situation. But again, it's going to be a different perspective. So for today, I need y'all to sit tight. I got to go find my notebook, because if I don't do my notebook, I'm going to be all over the place, right? Somebody said love from St. Louis. I love St. Louis. Shout out to St. Louis. I can't wait till Michi X and I get the Black Agenda going again, so we can go ahead and start visiting these cities again, because we got to get on point, y'all. And in this conversation, I'm also going to share my own personal encounter. Well, not my personal encounter, but anything my children do is a personal encounter for me. I'm going to share that with you guys, because I want y'all to know I'm just like y'all too. I'm human. I go through the same thing. I got kids that act up too. I got the same things that you guys got going on. Don't let my name fool you. Don't let the popularity fool you. I have a regular life, and those who have been with me for a long time, y'all all know I'm transparent, and I have no problem sharing my life. So give me a second. Give me a second, and let me go ahead and get my stuff, right? Give me a second. Y'all just go ahead and talk to each other. Say hello to one another. Go ahead and give each other shout outs in the chat room, so we can go ahead and get this conversation going. All right? Woo, somebody said no more public policing, private policing only. Okay. No more public policing, private policing only. All right, this is something here. So we're going to go through this. So family, listen what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to give y'all 4 different stories. Now, I know some of y'all are going to be upset. I'm going to give y'all 4 different stories. I need y'all just to listen to the stories, all right? Listen to the stories. Don't jump. Just follow me for a second. Follow me for just a second, then we're going to have a conversation, because y'all know how I do on this channel. I like to dialogue with y'all. So we're going to have a conversation. For everybody else who don't have patience with how we operate this here channel, y'all can just go ahead and do yourselves a favor and log off because we're all about the conversations here, okay? So let's go ahead. So here, I want to take you guys to Florida because Florida made the list today. We're going to go to Deltona, Florida. All right, family? And there's a young lady, she's 18 years old from Deltona, Florida. Her name is Liana. I think you pronounce it Liana Rollins. She's 18 years old. Now, she was pulling out of a driveway where she was approached by a police officer who was walking down the road. Somebody said defund the popo, period. And that's fine, Gwen. We're going to talk about that, Gwen. But I want to know, Gwen, what do you mean when you say defund the popo? Because, you know, we use other people's language and we really do think we know what they're talking about. So I want to know what you mean. So let me go ahead with the story. So the police officer is walking down the road. And you see on his body cam, he puts his hand out. He says, stop the car, stop the car. She stops the car. He says, do you live here? She says, no. Why does that matter? He asks her to stop the car and to turn off the engine. She starts going off with her mouth. He opens up the door. He turns off the engine and she hits the fan. She hits the fan. I spit in your face. Don't you effing put your hands on me. Don't ever come at me like that. Yada, yada. Then she takes off her seatbelt because now she turned up. Right? As they were saying, some areas of Florida, she's 38 hot. She turned up. So y'all didn't know I knew that, right? Y'all didn't know I knew in certain areas of Florida, y'all be like 38 hot. I know the language. I know what y'all be saying, right? She gets off her seatbelt. She come out the car. She pop it off. She popping. Now she under arrest. Now that she's under arrest, she's giving the officer even harder time. You know, somebody run up on an officer. She start hitting the officer, blah, 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 popping him up. She gets arrested. Her wig fall off. Got her big cornrow, her dookie braids. You know, we call them dookie braids, right? She had the dookie braids going down the back. She on the floor. She arrested. Now, here's the background with that story. The background with that story is the officer who pulled up at the location, unbeknownst to him, he had the wrong address. And he got a 911 call that said there was a burglary. So as he's looking for the house and he's walking up, he's seeing this vehicle leave the house that he thought was the house he was looking for. So he did what officers do, stop the car, because, you know, you get a 911 call, there's a burglary. We're humans. They're humans. Everybody's humans. We make mistakes. They stop the call. And nonetheless, he got kind of aggressive when he went in a car, and that triggered her, set her off. It all goes shebang. The controversy here, somebody said she played herself. The controversy here is why he stopped her. Now, like I just told you why he stopped her. He got a 911 burglary call. And even though he was at the wrong address, he was en route to a burglary call and in duty doing his so-called job, right? The other controversy is why was he aggressive in turning off her vehicle? Now, I could sit down here all day and I can tell you all why he went into the car to turn off her vehicle. I can tell you all every day some of the thoughts that may have been going through his head for why he reached in the car and turned off the vehicle. See, I can tell y'all that because my partner's a cop. So I can tell you what the mindset is. I can tell you what the fear is. I can tell you what the concern is. I can tell you all of that, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm just giving y'all 4 different scenarios. I'm not adding no flavor into it just yet because I want y'all to think about it for just a second. Let me go on to story number 2. Here it is, story number 1. You got this 18-year-old who becomes oppositional, right? And then the cop is going to respond to that kind of energy because everything in life, whether you want to agree with it or not, everything in life is about universal law. I say it all the time. Be mindful of the energy you put out because the energy you put out is going to come back. And that's with everybody. That's with everybody. It's universal law. You can't make this stuff up. So let me go on to story number 2. Because I know, right? Somebody said her demeanor was awful. right? That's what Harry said. Her demeanor was still awful. And I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it is. I'm gonna go into that a little bit later. I just want y'all to hear the stories for just a moment. Follow me for just a moment. Now let's go on to story number 2, which I don't hear almost anybody in our community talking about it, but I'm gonna go on to story number 2. Now, a month before the incident happened with story number 2, I'm going to tell you the incident, but I'm going to give you the back dates. I'm going to give you the backstory because you got to understand how we got to the incident that happened with story number 2. And this is all in July. So months before the shooting incident happened, there was a 19-year-old called, his name was Imani Davis. Imani, just in case y'all want to look him up, his name is spelled Ehmani Davis. He was a 19-year-old that was out of control. He was a 19-year-old that his mother has been calling 911 on for many, many, many moons. I don't see nobody talk about his mama, but that's a whole nother story, right? If it was us, it'd be because he ain't got no daddy in the home. It'd be because, these black mamas don't know how to raise black sons. That would be the controversy out there if it was one of our mamas. But it was a mama of a different persuasion, but he was one of us, so to speak, right? And so he has been having problems since he was a child, mental health problems. And y'all know this is Friday. So I'm going to tie all this shit into mental health, right? Because it's Mental Health Friday. Y'all got me on a Friday. But nonetheless, his mother was calling 911 multiple times to get services and help for her son. Nobody has ever helped her. She has even called in involuntary hospitalizations on her child because she knew her child was not, sharp. His elevator does not and did not go up to the top floor. So she already knew this. And everybody in the community knew that Imani was out of control. Imani had been arrested before. Imani had encounters with the cops. Imani had encounters with the neighbors. Imani had encounters with his family member. Everybody knew that boy was not wrapped too tight. 3 weeks later, he shoots and kills an officer. Now, I know some of y'all going to be like, oh, well, okay, one less pig on the street. Because I know that some people in our community have that kind of mindset, right? Whatever, one less pig on the street. But I'm going to challenge you with that because I'm going to give y'all 4 stories, right? I'm going to challenge you with that because this pig on the street, so how some of y'all in my community would say, was a black man who was a husband, who was a father, who was a son, and who was a brother. And he was responding with his partner to a 911 call. Unfortunately, he didn't know the 911 call was in regards to Imani Davis, the one who had bought a gun, a assault rifle 2 weeks prior to encountering Officer Loren Courts, and his partner. And just as the officer pulled up to the scene, right here, see, it's already starting, y'all. It's already starting. He signed up for it. It's already started. I'm going to challenge all of y'all. But just as he was pulling up to the scene, Imani, in his sick ways, blah, 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 just started shooting. Right? Just started shooting. But it got him in the neck. And as he's pulling out to try to save him and his partner, he's bleeding out. He reverses. He gets out of the car. He's trying to get his partner and him to cover. And he's bleeding out. He collapsed. His partner, she put pressure on his neck to try to save him as the shooter, Imani, is walking toward her. Other cops arrived on the scene, took Imani out. Right? Took him out. See? Now you see the guys, they all start. I want to challenge that. Right? A cop is a cop to me, and cops are blue, I thought. Right? Cops are blue, right? See, that kind of mindset, I'm just trying to say. That kind of mindset, we can't even see this cop as a human. We talk about black fathers being taken out of the home. So see what I don't like about our community. See, y'all got me hot now. Now y'all got me hot. What I don't like about our community is we're ass backwards, right? We have no critical thinking sometimes. I'm not saying all of us. I'm in no way saying all of us. But what we do is we don't see them as human anymore. This is a black man who is a father and a husband, a son and a brother, and we can't see him like that. Cop is a cop to me. He ain't do nothing, only on the force for 5 years, responding to a 911 call of gunshots in your black community, where your black children are dying, where your black women cannot go home safely without being accosted, when your black men are being shot down in the street, when your black grandmamas and grandpapas are not safe, and your community responding there. Now, when I'm saying y'all, don't get in your panties, because I know how some of y'all get. I don't know what she talking about, y'all community. Y'all know what I'm talking about, so calm the hell down. But what I'm saying to you is, we can't see him as a human. We can't see the fact that he just pulled up, didn't do a goddamn thing, did not have no encounter with anybody, caught a bullet in the neck, and died. And we said, a cop is a cop. A cop is a cop. Right? Right? We can't do it. We can't do it. But my point in this, in story number 2, is we have one incident where we would get so uptight about this officer who responds to a burglary, sees a girl pulling out the driveway. Well, he didn't know it was a girl because her windows were blacked out. They were tinted out, windshields, the windows, the back window, everything was tinted out. But he stops the car. See, we can't see that because what we see is a white man having an encounter with a black woman, and we get upset. We get angry. We get upset. We don't see her behavior. We don't. And I'm not here. Listen. I ain't here to pass no judgment on nobody's behaviors. I know what I teach my children. Now, I don't know what other people teach their children. I can't speak for other people. I can speak for my own situation. I know how I teach my children. But we don't see the whole picture, in my opinion. We see what we want to see. And the reason why we see what we want to see is because of people like this officer in story number 3. Y'all ready? I'm about to wrap this up. We're going on to story number 3. Let's talk about story number 3 for just a second. Let's go to Cincinnati. Did y'all hear about Officer Rose Valentino? See, Officer Rose Valentino, she's the race soldier that has tainted our lens. She is the race soldier that has us seeing everything the same way because our experiences with the cops look like Rose Valentino. Whether we have personally encountered it or we know somebody who has encountered it, it looks like Rose Valentino. See, Rose Valentino, I guess she didn't know her camera was on when she was having all her racial epithets and her racial rage. That's what it is, racial rage. She was having her racial rage, so I don't think she knew her camera was on. But nonetheless, I'm glad her camera was on to expose who Rose really is. Now, she was caught on camera using some racial epithets when she was driving in her patrol car, and she saw some cars double parked. This is story number 3, y'all. Got 4 stories. Story number 3. She turns on her lights to get the double parked cars to move, as those cars was parked, as many of us parents do who drive to pick up our kids from school. The cars was parked waiting for their children to get out of the school, the high school that they was waiting for. Right? Somebody said, oh, the ranting lady. Yes, the ranting lady. And so she gets upset. She's cussing their asses out. Motherfuckers, I hate these motherfuckers, assholes, blah, blah. She cussing them out. I can't stand them. Oh, she's doing all that in the camera. This is Mental Health Fridays, y'all. This is Mental Health Fridays. We're going to have a conversation about mental health. This is Mental Health Fridays, y'all. She's clenching her fist in the camera. She got a little purple notebook. She's squeezing the hell out the notebook. She's doing all types of things as she's cussing. She's calling people all types of names. She angry. Then she wind up spiraling out of control. As a teenager is coming out of the high school, he sees her car and he gives her the middle fingers. Blah. Right? Oh, she did not like that. After she got the middle finger, she got even worse and she said, niggas. Yes, she did. She said that. She said it. Niggas. I hate them. Niggas. She sure did. She ain't say ninjas. You know, I say ninjas. She said niggas. She sure did. She said the N word. And then afterwards, I guess she realized she was on camera. The video got released. The community's upset that she want to talk about. She's been on the force for 14 years, right? She has a stellar record. You know how they do. She was surprised at her own language. It's her job. Her job is impacting her language. The music that is played on the airways is impacting how she thinks. She just became desensitized to racial languages that are offensive. She wasn't even thinking in that way. Whereas they bring up her history, and it's a history of her and some other authors harassing a black realtor and his client who also happened to be black. They sued the city, and the city settled for $150,000 on that case because she knows she was racially profiling and arresting people that was doing their job just because they were black. Then they also put out her history of the time when she punched two of her family members and took an umbrella and went to banging up their car and busting up their car, the umbrella, and she got arrested and she had to do anger management. But now all of a sudden when she hear herself on television, when she sees it on the news and the whole community know how she feel about ninjas, she's saying, oh, I'm surprised at my language. I had not known. I had not known that came out my mouth. The music is just influencing me. I've been on the force for 14 years. I'm just tired. Right? It's stories like Rose Valentino, right? That has us feeling like all cops are the same way. Now, I'm not telling y'all to decipher. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. I'm just saying when we have our mindset set that way, we see all cops the same way. You racist mother freaker, get out of our community. We don't need you here. I hate the police. If a mofo pull up on me, I'm an X, Y, and Z. The cops this, the cops that. We all see it just the same way. Because people like her and her language is very traumatizing for our community. Just like it is for the Jewish community. If you say anything about the Jewish community, it's traumatizing for them. And they respond and they react. Now, their response and their reaction happens to be listened to by many people and brings results. Whereas our response and our reactions is only used whenever it benefits other people, for them to get the results that they're looking for. So they may piggyback on our pain and our sorrow and our frustrations just so they can get what they want. We don't realize that, we feed into that. I'm going to go somewhere with this, y'all. We don't realize we feed into that. So we can't have it both ways, right? We got to do some work. We got to do some work. But the point is, people like Rose Valentino paints the picture that we see when we look at police officers. You hear what I'm saying? I'm going to say it again. People like Rose Valentino paints the picture that we see when we look at all police officers. Right? That's what happens. Now I'm going to bring y'all to story number 4, and then we're going to have our little lessons, and I'm out of here. So story number 4, I'm going to take you to story number 4. Now, this is the one that's out of Dallas, Texas. Where's my Dallas guy? Where's my Dallas guy? Shout out to the Dallas guy in the room, right? Where you at? There go my YouTube husband, right? That messy Jesse called my Jaime town. Okay, yes. So let's talk about Dallas, Texas. And I want to know what y'all think about this. Because I told y'all those 3 stories on purpose. They're very different stories. And just in case some of y'all are late, right? That's right. Somebody said confirmation bias. You already know. You already know. Fit to foster, you get a point. You get 45 motherfreaking points. You got it. But you already know. Just in case some of y'all are a little late to the story, let me tell you something. I'm going over 4 different stories with police-involved incidents in the Black community. The first story was the 18-year-old Liana Rollins, who went buck wild, acting up, spitting, threatening police officers, punching one in the head, all this stuff. And then the community is in outrage because the police officer didn't have to act like that. He was aggressive for no reason. This woman is out of control. But the police officer is aggressive for no reason. Okay, cool. No problem. Officer number 2, Black officer, a father, a husband, a son, a brother, just pulled up to a 911 call before he even get out the car to question anybody. Pop, 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 pop. He shot, bullet hit him in the neck. He dies on the scene. But we don't talk about that. Because, like somebody said in the audience here, a cop is a cop. They all blue to me. They all pigs. They all get what they deserve. Let them all die. That's what somebody's saying. Now, I'm paraphrasing some of that. I added some flavor, but I can read his mind. Because that's how some of them think. Then I go on to officer number 3, and she's the type of officer, because, they say one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. There's a lot of bad apples on the police force, not just one, and they are spoiling a whole bunch because what they're doing is they're painting the lens on how we see officers. So somebody like Rose Valentino, with all her racial epithets, all her racial slurs, and her poor anger management, I hate these people. All of this stuff on camera, not even realizing her camera's going off, not even realizing she's being recorded in her own goddamn patrol car, and she's acting crazy. Niggas, acting all types of crazy. Got caught out there. People like her paint the picture of how we see officers. Now I'm going on story number 4. Let's go. See, somebody says here, I expect somebody who's dating a cop to sympathize. But first of all, it's not about dating a cop. So if you've been following me for a long time, SJ, because everyone knows, and even my significant other knows, I be bothering him all the time. F the police. I be bothering him all the time. So, but you don't know my story because you're obviously new to my community. And anybody else that knows me knows that I come from a cop family. So this is not about sympathizing with the police. If the police is wrong, the police is wrong. And anyone knows how I get down and how I get it in. But it doesn't mean that I promote. Let me say that again, because I think some of y'all missing the point, because y'all got me all screwed up, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that I promote my children. I can't speak for y'all. It doesn't mean that I promote my children or myself becoming irate and crazy and acting nutty when I know I'm in a losing position. Now, see, I don't know about you, SJ. I respect your opinion, and that's all good. But maybe you, SJ, maybe you play checkers. I don't. I play chess. There's a difference between you and I. I don't know about you, SJ. Maybe you don't have anything to live for. I don't know. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying maybe you don't have anything to live for, but I do. I'm a wonderful mom of 3 wonderful children, and I hope to one day become a grandmother. Right? I don't know about you. So it's not about who I date. It's not about who will bust a cap in your ass if you fuck with me. It's not about that. Right? It's not about that. It's about we got to get better. And I'm not going to act a fool when I know I don't have enough manpower or guns to take on the police. Now, see, some of y'all think y'all have enough gun power and manpower to take on the police. And history would tell us in our community that has never been proven successful. I'm just saying. Now, it doesn't mean I got put in a situation that I have to act up. I'll act up. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying to you is I play chess, not checkers. So you can say whatever you want to say. That's all cool with me. That's all cool with me. Say whatever you want to say. But I'm not going to be out there acting big body. And knowing I live in the state of New Jersey, when we ain't got no carry laws, and even if I put out a gun on a police officer, I'm going to lose. Because I'm a part of a community that don't do nothing. See, some of y'all didn't even get that. Some of y'all didn't get that. I'm talking to SJ for just a moment, y'all. Y'all just happen to be listeners, and that's all cool. Some of y'all didn't even get that. See, y'all want me to act crazy, knowing that y'all ain't going to have my back. Y'all just going to be recording the video and using it as footage to say Dr. Shonna was wilding out and the cops did take her ass out. And then that's all I'm going to be is a story in a black community and nothing else. See, a lot of y'all want to act big body about it. And y'all ain't about nothing. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being real. A lot of y'all hooping, hopping, and do a lot of stuff. And when it gets down to the nitty gritty, nothing happens. Nothing happens. So I don't know, SJ. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do, SJ. Because you want to point out who I date. Well, you might as well just point out the family I come from too, NYPD. You might as well just point out the family I come from too. SJ, I sympathize with you in that area. I'm fed up too. I'm going to tell you my own personal story. I'm fed up too, SJ, but I'm not going to walk around and act crazy. And I don't want my children walking around acting crazy either because they're going to lose. Because we ain't even prepared to even like each other. So how the hell we prepare to go to war? Some of y'all just be excited talking about war every day. And y'all can't even say good morning to your fellow black man or black woman. Y'all can't even have sympathy for a black man or black woman. We at each other's throat. We talking about the police. Let me go on to story number 4. SJ, you know I love you, but you know I'm going to talk real. You know I'm going to talk. We could sit down all day and talk about this all day, SJ. You're going to have your opinion. I'm going to have mine. And we're going to see who get home alive. Because I ain't ready to go. I'm just trying to say. So let's go on to story number 4. Right? Let's go on to number 4. Story number 4. Dallas, Texas. Woo, Father. Dallas, Texas. You see, we all good. SJ and I all good. I love SJ. I love all of y'all. Even the incest cousins of ours in our community. You know what I mean when I say the incest cousins. I love them too. Right? But let's talk about Dallas, Texas. Portia Adufua. I can't listen to her story without laughing. Portia Adufua. Now, I don't think she ADOS, but that's none of my business. That's not the here or there. Not with a last name like Adufua. She black, but I don't think she ADOS. 37-year-old. She gets dropped off at the airport in Dallas. Woo, Father. She gets out the car. She goes into the restroom. 5 minutes later, she comes out the restroom. She walks to Southwest Airlines. She makes some type of announcement. I'm going to tell you what the announcement is that she made allegedly. But she makes some type of announcement. She pulls out a gun. Now, the gun that she pulls out has a capacity to hold 15 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, 16 shots. Only 8 was in the bullets. I don't know whatever happened to the other 8 bullets, but nonetheless, she pulls out her weapon. She puts it in the air. Pop, pop, pop. She pops off in the air while she yelling something in the airport. She sends everybody running. Black folks running. White folks running. Hispanics running. Everybody's running. Everybody's scared. An officer's walking while she pop, pop, pop. He takes cover. He see what she's doing. He come out, pull out his one, pop, pop. Shoots her. She falls down. Now, some people were going to be angry at what this officer did. Oh, he could have talked her down. Because you know how our community is. I'm just trying to say, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to say, oh, he could have talked her down. He ain't have to shoot her like that. Like she's a dog in the street. I'm tired of these white officers. I'm tired of them treating us like that. Some people in our community do things like that. Because they're not able to see the situation as though they were there. Now, I travel. I know y'all travel too. Put yourself in a situation for a second. You are in the airport trying to check your goddamn bags in, and somebody starts shooting in the airport. That's right, Tyler. Give credit where credit is due. He did his goddamn job. See, let me tell you why I get so mad with some of us sometimes, right? Because our lens is so colored with negativity that we can't see that in that very moment, he saved a lot of people. But we can't see that. Right? Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry, fit to foster. He said, I'm sorry, delete active shooters. Shit. Don't be sorry. I don't know about y'all, but I got children. And typically, unless I'm with my partner, if I'm going on vacation, I'm on vacation with my kids. Yes, brand slayer. That's very traumatizing. If I'm on vacation with my kids. And do you think Portia Adufua was going to be like, well, no, I'm not going to shoot in this airport because I see little black children and their mamas walking around here. I see black families around. They safe. No, I'm going to go down to a different airline and do that. Not Southwest. Being funny. But no, she's not thinking that way. She got in there. She said something about failing her husband. She fired something about failing her husband, something about her husband being incarcerated. She angry, she mad, and she going there firing all shots. She fired multiple shots in the air, causing people to run. This officer did his job. 15 years on the force. The way he took cover, you can see it on the camera if you want to. The way he took cover, the way he shot clear, boom, boom, brought her down. He struck her in her lower extremity, so she's happy to be alive. He didn't hit her with 97 shots. He didn't hit her with 45 shots. He did not exterminate her. He did not take her life. Let me tell you something. I'm just trying to say. Let me tell y'all something. Let me block this loser right here. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know about y'all. If any of y'all are coming from a police officer family, or if any of y'all with a police officer, but I'm gonna tell you something. When my man leaves this house to go to work, believe this when I say it, get back safely, kill a joker if he need to be killed. I don't know what y'all heard. Go ahead and get mad at me if you want to. I don't care. Because some people be acting crazy. And that's the part we be missing. We act like we all sane. We act like some of these jokers are not out here acting crazy. We act like Portia Adufua wasn't out of her goddamn mind when she went into the airport and bust off shots. We act like that shit is sane. That shit ain't sane. That's not normal. That's traumatizing. That's traumatizing. Right? Right? Somebody said you can't be wrong and strong at the same time. You're absolutely right. You cannot be wrong and strong at the same time. See, what really irks me about some of us in our community, not all of us, and I'm about to get into my mental health and out. What really irks me is that we are wrong and strong. We say all this stuff, but the minute somebody's doing something that's putting our life at jeopardy, we call who? We don't call our brothers. We don't call our uncles. We don't call our daddies. 9 out of 10 times, who do we call? I just need to know what are we doing. I need to know what code we following, because we be all over the place. Who do we call when something happens? Are we calling them or are we not calling them? Let me know. Give me the memo so I can know. This woman in the airport busting off shots, scaring everybody, and she get aggravated assault charges. She get aggravated assault charges. Now, I know she's going to get some weapon charges as well, right? Somebody said my cousins. Somebody said she going to call her cousins. Go ahead, Trina. But I'm glad you can call your cousins, Trina. I can call my cousins too. I can call my boo. I can call people, right? But I'm glad, Trina, you can call your cousins. But let's be real. Some people in our family don't even have healthy family members. Let's just be real for a second, right? Let's just be real for a second. See, Trina and I, we get to call our cousins and other people like us too. We get to call our family members. But let's just be real. Is that taking into consideration and account that not all people have family members that they can call? Let's not say things that ain't realistic. Because if you gotta call your cousins, I hope your cousins are close to you, because my cousins don't live close to me, and maybe y'all cousins live close to y'all. But I know that if somebody was kicking down my goddamn door right now, well, they're gonna meet something in their head. But I'll let you come in. I'm like, what's that rapper? Red Dot, Red Dot. I should have gave that boy a headshot. That's woo, baby. Shit, red dot, nigga, red dot. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just trying to say, somebody kicking down your door and you feel you are at immediate risk of harm. Who you calling? Who you calling? Because if I call my cousins, they gotta come from Queens and Brooklyn. You know how long it's gonna take them to get to me? They gotta come from Queens and Brooklyn. Who you calling? Right? That's all I'm have to say. That's what I'm talking about, Tina. That's all I'm saying, Trina. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I'm gonna call 911 because I'm gonna have to explain the body. Red dot, red dot. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right? I'm just saying, right? We gotta be real about this. But my point is, in this story, can we even see where credit is due? I'm pretty sure if y'all all in the airport going somewhere on vacation, you're not strapped. Right? I'm pretty sure if you were going on vacation and somebody hurt your pops, I'm pretty sure you're going to be scared. And if you saw the cops on the scene, pop, take that person down, I'm pretty sure you're going to be happy. I'm pretty sure you're going to be like, oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, I was so scared. Like everybody else on the news was like, I'm sure you're going to have that same mindset. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if I'm okay with Portia getting just aggravated assault charges. Now, I know she's going to have a gun charge because she was banned from possessing firearms since 2018. So she got one in her hand. And she also had a gun that was not registered to her. So I know she's going to have some gun charges. But I'm just saying, the charge that they said on the TV was aggravated assault. Now, let me tell you something, right? Somebody said, are Black people separated by class or a serious lack of socialization? I don't know what that means, but Milton, you could tell me a little bit more, right? Tell me a little bit more. I'm just saying to you, let me tell you something. Let's go back to story number one, my takeaway for story number one. That was the one where the 18-year-old was in the car. Right? Somebody said Portia got what she asked for. Oh, Maurice. Now you see it differently, Maurice. You was giving me a hard time, but now, see, I told you, Maurice, if you listen to the show a little longer, I'm gonna see what you have to say then. Now you saying Portia got what she asked for. First, it was F the police. They all pigs. Shoot them, put them down, take them under. Nobody else was in that airport to be able to stop Portia, but the police were. Now it's she got what she asked for. I'm just saying we gotta get it together, y'all. We gotta get it together. Because see, some of y'all suffer from cognitive dissonance. And I know y'all don't want to, this is Mental Health Fridays. Some of y'all suffer from cognitive dissonance. And we're not able to see things from multiple angles. We see things in a dichotomous mindset. Either or, right or wrong, white or black, up or down, left or right. The world is a little bit more colorful than that, people. Critical thinkers can see things from multiple angles. Right? Somebody said, hell no, we ain't calling. We're going to handle our business. So when you in the airport, Cassandra, when you in the airport and somebody is busting off shots in the airport, please let me know how you handling your business. I'll wait. I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just asking you a question. You in the airport, because that's what happened with Portia Adufua. She's in the airport. She takes out the gun and she starts busting off shots toward the people. What are you going to do, Cassandra? You're going to run. That's what you're going to do. You're going to run and hope you don't get shot in your goddamn back. That's what you're going to do. What you going to do? You in the airport. You ain't got no gun in no airport. Right? You ain't got no gun in no airport. You better duck and hope you don't get hit by a bullet. You better know how to take cover one-on-one. What you going to do, Cassandra? She said we should never call 911. We need to start doing like the Asians and handle our own business. I get your point, but what are you going to do in the airport, Cassandra? You think the Asians are going to handle their business in the airport? Their asses are going to run too. What are you going to do, Cassandra? I'm just trying to ask a question. What you going to do? What power tools are you bringing into the airport, Cassandra? What power tools are you bringing into the airport? Your ass is going to be in jail. What power tools you going to bring into the airport? Somebody said her ass going to call the po-po. S.A., our cousin S.J. says be reactive like the reactive police. What's she going to do? Right? Somebody said duck and hide not. Somebody said your own privately owned police. In the airport, you see what I'm talking about? We got to stay on the story. We got to have the conversation one-on-one. See, we got to follow the bouncing ball. I gave you 4 different scenarios. We are on the airport scenario. What are you going to do? See what I'm talking about? But we don't want to admit to that because our ego and our pride is too big. We don't want to admit to that. What are you going to do in the goddamn airport? That is the question on the goddamn table, and nobody's making sense logically. It is the question on the table. People follow the bouncing goddamn ball. You are in the goddamn airport. This is what I'm talking about, family. This is what I'm talking about. Unless you a federal police officer, you ain't entering an airport with no gun unless your ass don't want to go home tonight. You won't make it to your destination. I'm just saying. So let's talk about it. Here's my takeaway, and I'm out of here. Here's my takeaway. Somebody said run, drop, duck, and roll. And hope your ass don't get shot, baby. Hope your ass don't get shot, baby. Because the last time I checked in Buffalo, New York, somebody went up there and shot up a lot of black ass people, and then nobody was prepared to do not a goddamn thing. See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't like dealing with silliness. Silliness really bothers me. I'm just saying, silliness really bothers everybody. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then they get caught out there and then they be scrolling across the news where everybody else got shot. They didn't have nothing, couldn't do nothing. Didn't know what to do, wasn't trained, couldn't hit a target. Y'all better stop listening to silly ass people giving you silly ass results. So here's my takeaway. Right? See, I was listening to this video the other day. And this person said something so profound. I wish I remember what video it was, but it was so profound. I said, you know something? I think just like that, right? The person said, in order for you to bring down the matrix, you have to go inside of the matrix. And that hit me Because that's what I'm trying to say constantly. In order for you to bring down the matrix, you have to go inside of the matrix. See, we so gun-ho on all these strategies that don't work. They don't make sense. They're not chess moves. There's checkers. There's this amateur plays, right? In order for you to get in and bring down a system, you got to be in it to bring it down. Now, I'm not saying you got to be a part of it. You got to go through the matrix. You got to be in the matrix to bring it down. So what are you guys doing? Because every day you leave your house, you enter in the matrix. Every day your children, let's take scenario number one. Scenario number one was the 18-year-old. Every time your children leave the house, they have to go into the matrix. How are you preparing your children for the matrix? Because clearly, Liana Rollins was not prepared for the matrix. How are you preparing your children for the matrix? That's the question I'm asking y'all. How are you preparing your children for the matrix? Trina said it. Trina, I mean, not for the children, but Trina, you're right. If we don't sit on political seats, how will it change? That's one way. That's one way, right? That's one way. The political seats are important. We're not talking about the wrong goddamn ninjas on the political seats. You know what we mean. But we're talking about the people like us that understand what the strategy is, that understand what the agenda is. If we're not on the political seats, how will it change? That's one way of looking at it. Also, every time you send your children out there, what are you doing? Because your children, especially if your children are males, 18 to 26 years old, they're going to encounter the matrix more than we do. Right? They're going to encounter the matrix more than we do. So what do you do to prepare your children? Let me tell you something. The other day, I got in my car. And I'm noticing some things in my car is out of order. Now, I've been letting my 18-year-old drive my car. And I'm looking at things like, why is this here? And I start opening the drawers. And so I see my paperwork in spots that it shouldn't be in. Paperwork, license, registration, insurance, right? Well, not license, but registration, insurance, and paper in areas that it shouldn't be. So ding, 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 ding. My mommy's senses went off, and I said, oh, he had an encounter with the police. He got pulled over. I immediately knew that. Because that's what we do as parents, right? We just know these kind of things. We just know these things. And he didn't tell me. So I contacted him on his phone, and I asked him, did you get pulled over? Did you get stopped by the police? He said, not yesterday. That was his response. Not yesterday. Not yesterday. Okay. All right. I asked him the same thing again. Did you get pulled over by the police? So finally he starts talking to me. And he starts saying, yeah, I did. And I said, did you get a ticket? I got a summons. Playing with the words, right? I got a summons. But it's no big deal. I just got to pay it online by tomorrow. Pay what online? So, I was so frustrated, right? Called my partner, told him what happened. And he was like, don't pay nothing online. Don't pay nothing. See, these kids don't know no better, right? Don't pay nothing online because that's admitting guilt. And if you admit guilt, your insurance is going to go up, blah, 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 blah. What happened? What did he do? Whatever the case is. So I let things calm down because, I got in my mommy mode, got on his ass and everything. Let things calm down. Then I went into the room. This is days later. I go into his bedroom to make sure he remembers what I teach him, what my partner says to him. I'm just trying to figure out if it's all sticking in his head. So finally I asked him, and I said to him tonight, I said, so you had your first encounter with the police. Were you scared? And he said, yeah, I was. And I said, what did you do? So now I'm drilling him because I know what we teach him. Now I'm drilling him. What did you do? He said he followed me for a really long time. I didn't know that he was following me to pull me over because it happened on a highway. I got off the highway. I was almost home. And then he pulled me over by the 7-Eleven. So I pulled into the gas station under the lights so I could be lit up. And then I put my hand out the window. And I just stood there with my hand out the window until he came over to my car. I said, okay, so you was non-threatening. He said, yeah, I just left my hand out the window and I asked him, was everything okay? And he said, I want your license. He said, I'll tell you, whatever the cop said, license, registration, insurance, whatever the case is. And he says, it's in that glove box over there. I want to know if I can go into the glove box while his hands are still out the window. I want to know if I can go into the glove box to get the information you're asking for. So the officer said, go ahead, go into the glove box. So then he turned around. He goes into the glove box. He's nervous because he couldn't find my updated insurance card. And I don't know where this shit is at. I don't know where it's at. I should know where it's at just in case I get pulled over, right? But I don't worry about the po-po. However, I should know where it's at. But nonetheless, it wasn't in the car. So he gives him his license, gives him the registration, and he just sits there with his hands on the top of the steering wheel like I told him to. He's sitting there. And the guy, I guess because he was behaving nicely, he wrote him a ticket for a lower speed, and he hand wrote on the ticket the speed that he was going, which was alarming. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It was a fucking alarming. He lost all privileges to the car. No car for you, buddy. You want to drive like that? No car for you. Bye-bye. So took the car. No car for him. But it was an alarming speed for somebody who's 18. So we took care of that situation. My question for you is, what's more important for you and your children? For them to be right or for them to get home safely? Now, everyone has a different answer, and everyone is entitled to their own answer. But I'm asking you all a question. What is more important, to be right or to come home alive? Now, if you don't care, then boom, do whatever you got to do. I don't care. I ain't going to hold it to you. I'm still going to say black power. I'm still going to have your back no matter what. You could be dead wrong. I'm still going to be like, black power. Won't have your back. But I'm just saying, what's more important? Because I don't know about for you. And yes, I am a woman. Some people, I saw somebody write in the chat, she's a woman, she's a woman. Okay, whatever, whatever the fuck you want to say. Yes, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. Yes, I'm a woman. What do you want me to get mad because you say I'm a woman? Yes, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. Yes, I'm a mother. I'm a nurturer. I'm a partner. Yes, I am a woman. Yes, I'm softer. All right? Yes, yes. But I also know my power in my home. I also know my power in what I do for all those in my home. Right? I know the influence I have over all those around. I'm important. Not to you all, but I'm important to my family. I'm important to my children. I'm important to my divine purpose here. I'm important. So for me, the takeaway is for the goal always. The goal for my children, I can only speak for my household. I don't know what y'all do in your household, but I'm just giving y'all some thoughts to think about. The goal for me in my household, with me in mind, is always to de-escalate the incidents. Always to de-escalate the incidents or to stop them if we can. And don't, whoever says something like, oh, she with the cops, whatever the person said. Don't get it twisted. We don't go out to dinner in a uniform. We don't go out to dinner with evidence that says, oh, I'm a cop. That don't happen. Don't get it twisted how we get treated. Cop or no cop. Don't get it freaking twisted. See, when we start to say things like that, you no longer see us as regular people. Don't get it twisted. The other day we was driving. Now, his window was cracked. The whole car is blacked out. You can't see who's in the car. It's blacked out. It's black on black on black on black on black. It's blacked out. You can't see who's in the car. But if the light hits the windshield in a certain angle, you can somewhat see the driver. And the Joker said, fucking ninjas. He didn't say ninjas. You know what he said. You know what that race soldier said. He ain't say ninja. You effing. I just started laughing. Now, was he laughing? No, he wasn't laughing. He was hot. He was 38 hot. I was laughing. I was like, babe, ignore it. Ain't that serious. He was hot. I wish you'd come over to this car and said to, babe, just drive. Ignore it. It ain't that serious. He was so hot, it almost affected our dinner. I was like, babe, you still angry at that? You know what I get called on a daily basis. You still angry at that? You still mad at that? Race soldier, you still mad at. So don't sit up here and make it seem like we don't have the same experience. Don't make it seem like somebody said something about class. I saw somebody said something in class, right? Oh, do you think class has anything? What? You think these jokers out there, when they see us through class? You really think that that's how they see us? Oh, we're not going to say nothing to her. She's of the upper class. What? Where do y'all get this stuff from? You think they saw my son as, his mama's good people. Let him home. They didn't see my son that way. Keep your hands out that goddamn window. Don't move them hands. Don't move them hands. You think these local jokers know? They see a ninja driving at 1:56 a.m. That's what they see. A ninja that's 6'2" with 2 earrings in his ear. Crazy hair that sticks out like this all over the place, because that's what the young kids are doing now. All their hair is out here, shot, the sides are shaved off, and their hair look crazy. You think they sit them like, oh, this comes from good stock. Let them go. You think that's what they think? I mean, some of us, we say the dumbest things ever. I can't. The goal is to have a plan when everybody leaves the house. I know y'all heard me say this 400 different times. I'm about to leave, right? I'm about to leave. But the goal is to have a plan every time you leave your house. Somebody said, y'all just saw that one that choked the female officer for doing the right thing and stopping an attack on a black man. Man, I gotta look it up. The goal is to have a plan. So let me ask you, family, what is your plan when you leave the house? How do y'all all communicate your safety and your whereabouts when you leave the house? Do y'all do that? Or do y'all see it as keeping tabs on one another? How do y'all communicate to your children what the safety plans are when they leave the house? How do y'all communicate to your partners what the safety plan is when they leave the house? How do y'all communicate that? See, y'all already know I'm all about strengthening the Black family unit, number one. Y'all already know I'm a marriage counselor. I do couples therapy day in and day out. I got hundreds of clients. Ain't no joke. Just Google the name, see the reviews. Ain't no joke. Y'all already know how I feel about that. But do you know, even when I'm working with my couples and I'm helping to change the mindset of some people in my community who are striving to try to keep their relationships together. And when I say, what is a safety plan? Do you know 99% of them ain't got no goddamn safety plan? Do you know 99% of them see the communication about their whereabouts and where they're going as intrusive, as a way of keeping tabs on one another? Do you know that that's how they see it? Do you know that 99% of them say it is not necessary? So I'm asking y'all, family, y'all don't have to do anything I'm suggesting. You could do whatever you want to do. But I want y'all to think about it. How do you guys make sure that everybody has a safety plan and everyone knows what's going on? So God forbid something happens, like Trina said, I'm going to call my cousins. If you do call me and you're not able to talk to me and I see it coming, I don't hear nothing, and I feel that something's happening, I have your location. I know where you at. I can get there. How many of y'all can do that? For those in a relationship, let me ask you a question. I'm going over to my takeaway number 2. For those of y'all in a relationship, how many of y'all tell your partners where you're at? How many of you all tell your partners where you're at? If you got to your location safely, if you left and you was moving to another destination, do you tell your partners where you heading to? How many of y'all have that conversation? Let's really talk about that for just a second. I ain't gonna keep you alone. How many of y'all have that conversation? Man, listen, how many of you ladies, I'm speaking to the ladies for just a second, how many of you ladies comfortable telling your man where you were at? when you get to the destination safely, when you're leaving, when you're going to your next definition. How many of y'all comfortable doing that? So we got some people saying I do. Somebody says I share my Google location. Somebody says I am. Somebody said, even if it's 5 minutes down the street, I tell my husband. I thank you for that. But I want to hear from the people who are not comfortable doing that. Can y'all be honest? Right? Thank you, ladies. I love y'all, ladies. Y'all must be part of my Iris group. Can y'all be honest, ladies? The ones who don't say I don't do that. Tell me. Come on. Don't pretend like you do because everybody else is saying they do. I mean, I do. I tell you all the time. This is not a way for your pride and your ego to get into play. I tell you all the time. Y'all should have a safety plan. Your head should be on a swivel at all times. I tell you that all the time. How many of y'all doing that? See, we're not on this channel just to have conversation. How many of y'all doing that? My takeaway number 2. Somebody said, I literally just told my wife I'm heading down the street. And that's a great thing. I'm so glad you're doing that because some people in our community would call your ass a simp. Am I lying? Oh, that ninja's a simp. I ain't doing none of that. I'm a grown ass ninja. Right? Thank you for your honesty, Fit to Foster. Said I don't. Right? Somebody said, get the 360 app. Bro, where you going? Yeah, who else I'm talking to? Huh? Let me know. Right? My takeaway number 2. I want y'all to, I'm just going to say this. We can't keep seeing everything through the same lens when we're dealing with the encounters that police have in our community. We see it all through the same lens. And the same lens, if it's the blue, is bad. Now, I don't want you to think this is an endorsement for the blue. This is not an endorsement for the blue. Now, and this is not me taking away any power from the blue either, right? Because I think I'm the kind of person, I'm just saying, I'm the kind of person, I take everybody on a face-by-face basis. I see what's going on, see who you are, see your history. Once you tell me how you're moving, I know how to react with you. I know how to treat you. I know how to move with you, right? So that's the kind of person I am. I don't know if you guys are like that, and you don't have to be like that, but I'm telling you how I am, right? When I look at an individual, I look at the individual being a father or a mother, a husband or a wife, a son, a daughter, a brother, a sister. See, because I realize that the job is dangerous. And I know that some of our brothers and sisters are in that position. And their jobs are dangerous. And I think that sometimes our expectations that we put on our brothers and sisters that are in the force are not always realistic. See, I'm not talking about our brothers and sisters that are some jokers that they need to get hanged too. I'm not talking about them. We need to hang them too like everybody else. I'm not talking about that. But there are brothers and sisters who are just like us, who want the same for our people, who are on the same agenda, who identify the same way we identify. They are on the force because that's their living. That's their living. And we don't actually see things through their lens because we're so traumatized, we're so angry, we're so hurt, we're in so much pain that we put on the same lens to look at everybody the same way. I know one thing is I don't always understand the reasoning of what some of these people do. Some of these police officers do. I don't always understand the reasoning. I don't always agree with the reasonings. And I'm not going to say I hate them because if I got to call them, I will. I'm just being honest with y'all. If I got to call out, I will. I will because jokers out here, listen, baby, I don't happen to live in a state where you could just carry. And even that is not safe. Even that is not safe. What do I mean when I say that? Did y'all see that video with the O'Reilly's auto parts store? Did y'all see that? Because this I can't I gotta go. I can't even stay on anymore tonight because I just want y'all to really see what I'm saying here. We're dealing with crazy people, whether you're on the force like Officer Rose Valentino, on the force with her racial slurs, she crazy. Just like the 18-year-old Liana, she had a situation and she responded because she traumatized and she acted out, right? She acted out. Just like the lady who went into the airport to pop off the gun, she acted out as well. She acted out mentally as well. A lot of these people acting out mentally. O'Reilly's, did y'all remember that situation in O'Reilly's, the auto parts store? It just happened just not too long ago, where the black girl is on the line and the black cashier and her are arguing, both black females arguing with each other. Somebody said something about somebody's mama. And you know how it is in our community. Some of us very sensitive when people that don't even know us make a mama joke or they say something about our mama. The other girl said, you say something again about my mama, popped off, went to the cash register, punched in the face, slammed her out, kicked her, stomped on her, beat her up real good for like 2 seconds. Then she started to fix her ponytail after she beat her up. You know how we do, right? Putting on her shoes and everything, not realizing what the girl behind the counter had. I'm just trying to tell y'all. People ain't right here in the streets. This is Mental Health Fridays. People are not right on the streets. And we got to get out of this mindset. Think we body, we could beat everybody. And what she gonna do? As she still popping, who say something again about my mama, you gonna get it again. Say something again about my mama. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, maybe it wasn't 3 shots. Pop, shot at once. Talking about, what you do that for? Why you do that to me? Is what she said as she on the floor, bleeding. Why you do that to me? I'm sorry. Now you sorry. You done gave her the 5-second beat down. Now you sorry. And the girl that got beat up, that shot her so angry, she's standing over her, kicking her when she shot. You sorry now. You sorry. Now you know, needless to say, she in jail. Needless to say, she ain't do it right. She in jail, right? Because that's not self-defense. You don't get your ass whooped, then go behind the counter, get your gun and shoot her. Talking about, you saw. She was all big and bad. About it. Now she in jail. See, this is what some of us do, right? We all about it. Why you do that to me? I saw. That's what we do. You sorry now. You put your hands on somebody, they pop you. We're living in a crazy world, people. We're living in a crazy world. And just like the police officers, they got bad apples there. We got bad apples in our community. I'm just trying to say it. And bad apples do spoil the whole bunch. Just like we don't like everyone to look at us all the same way because we got some bad apples. The same things with the cops. We look at them all the same way because they got some bad apples. And society looks at us all the same way because we got some bad apples too. I'm just trying to say. See, the way we experience the world, the way our lens is colored, it taints and poisons our experience. And a lot of our situations are very traumatizing. I get it, right? It makes us distrustful of the police. I get it. It's hard for us to see good in anybody. I totally get it. I definitely get it. But let me tell you something. Y'all got to get it together. If you're going to use the police, then use the police. If you're not going to use the police, don't use the police. Y'all can't be over the place. Y'all got to pick and choose. Right? And at the end of the day, when good shows up, give good their credit. Because I don't know about y'all, but if I was in that story number 4, if I was in the Dallas airport with my little children, okay, they're not little, but they still gonna be little for me. For the rest of their lives, they're gonna be little to me. They could be 55 years old, they're still gonna be my little children. But if I'm in the airport with my little children, and some crazy woman, I don't care what color she is, she coming in, or a woman or a man popping off and stuff, and an officer popped them and took them down for my safety, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due, because I damn sure didn't have a gun on me in the airport to be able to do it. Right? Trina said, I pay high property tax. I'm calling. Right? I'm just saying. We got to make up our minds. I'm going to get on some of y'all ladies too. But not in this conversation. Because y'all talk a lot of crap. Just like the girl, the 18-year-old. She 18, she young, but we know there's a lot of adults that act like that too. She's 18. In her situation, she get a pass. to a degree. She get a pass. But we know there's some grown ass women and men that act just like her that don't get a pass. And y'all be acting like that, but the minute y'all don't like your boyfriend or your man, whoever, who you call and put lies on them. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. We're gonna talk about that next time, not tonight. But y'all sure know how to call the police when you want to use it to your advantage. When you sure want to put a TRO out, that ain't the truth, right? I mean, I'm just saying that's a whole nother conversation. But that's all I have for y'all tonight, right? So anyway, family, I thank y'all all for tuning in. I love y'all. We're gonna have that conversation. I know we're gonna have that conversation one day. I'm gonna have to address some of y'all one day. Cause y'all sure know how to use the police when y'all want to use it for your advantage. Y'all sure know how to call and get them damn reports. Talking about we gonna police our own. Y'all be calling police for them reports. I'm just saying, y'all gotta know, listen, like Trina said, I pay high property tax. I'm calling. Listen, I'm just trying to say. Somebody said, especially when I guess he got guns in the house, right? They sure know what they're doing. They sure know for them to hate the police. Have the motherfuckers in this chat too and tell you, oh, I hate the police. And they sure, they be calling. They be calling. Listen, y'all have a great night. Somebody said I'm in Charleston. I'm telling the police. Listen, I'm just trying to say. Don't be going into the O'Reilly's auto parts store fighting people. You might get shot, and I bet you call the police when somebody pop your ass for popping them, right? I bet you call the police then. I'm just trying to say, y'all need to get it together. Make up your mind. You gonna call them or you're not gonna call them? You gonna call them or you're not gonna call them? Make up your mind. Right. So listen, family, I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. For my ladies, y'all know about the massage oil. Y'all gotta follow me on Instagram. Y'all see the Instagram thing because my boo and I are gonna be doing some reviews for you guys, right? On Instagram. When it comes to the massage oil candles, we have a natural aphrodisiac drink we're going to do on camera for you guys so y'all can know how to spice up your relationship. So, once y'all spice up those relationship, maybe y'all start getting on your safety plan. Maybe you want your boo to come home safely. But ladies, that's another conversation. Y'all can go ahead and visit helpingcouplesreconnect.com. Again, that website is helpingcouplesreconnect.com. Get your pheromones, get your massage oil candles. After we do this review on the aphrodisiac drinks, you'll be able to get your drinks as well. I love you all. Go ahead and visit the website. Keep supporting the Black community. I promise to love you guys for the rest of my life. I love you all. Somebody said I got your products. Oh, thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. I don't know about y'all, but my boo loves the way I smell when I put on my pheromones. Anyway, love you all. Have a great night. Be blessed.